White Sox take on the hottest team in baseball. The Cubs look to get another series win under their belt against the Diamondbacks. All that and more today on TC Talks. But before we get into that, guys, I want to thank you for being here. I want to please ask you guys hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers right here on the Winner's Circle so that we could be able to live stream our radio show that I do with my co-host. It's been a lot of me here, TC Talks. We're trying to branch into our show, which I'm trying to get up later tonight. Actually, it's been kind of hard to try to get that on recording lately just because of what we've been trying to do for the show. But you guys subscribing makes that a lot easier. One click of a button and it will automatically upload to YouTube. So you subscribing, getting us to 50 so we could live stream our shows would be fantastic. Again, following us on our Instagram, _Winner's Circle _22 is where you could find us. You could find our Twitch, our Anchor, all of our other social media links are on our Instagram, _Winner's Circle _22. But let's talk about those Chicago White Sox. They're taking on the New York Yankees, who are just as hot as they come, and they are keeping those bats rolling right now. After the first inning, the Cubs are down, or the Sox are down 2-0, I should say, after the first, stranding a few men on base. Jose Abreu was amazingly one of those. But let's talk about previous night's game, as this game, there's not much been going on. So these Sox, as you guys may or may not know, lost a heartbreaker, honestly, last night against the Yankees. It was a very big back and forth match, and unfortunately it ended with a Chicago loss. And despite how rough the pitching was, it really didn't get bad until the end of the game. Now, the White Sox hitting finally did something worth mentioning, and not in a bad way, in a good way. They were able to continuously bounce back through, I think, 6 or 7 innings, being able to get back that lead, fight for that lead, and get out of that deficit for their starting pitcher. And it looked really good. It was 7-7 at some point after a Moncada 3-run homer, and things were looking up. But all of a sudden, the Sox bullpen, Joe Kelly, my man, going out there, blowing the lead, giving up 5 runs, or blowing the tie, giving up 5 runs, taking the loss, not surviving the last inning he pitched in, and that's just unfortunate. Joe Kelly's one of those guys you were thinking, hey, he's going to solidify this bullpen, going to get it up to snuff. No, he hasn't looked too good since he's been back. He hasn't looked terrible. This is the worst he's been, but this is pretty bad. 5 runs, 5 hits, and that's just atrocious. You can't have that coming in relief. I know the Yankees have been hitting it and been getting hot, but that's something you just can't have as a relief pitcher. You need to come in and you need to be on lock. But it wasn't just him. Dylan Cease had a very, very interesting game nonetheless. It is both amazing and disappointing, the type of game that he had. What do I mean by that exactly? So, 6 earned runs, 6 hits, but 11 strikeouts. Now, that is some insane dealing right there. Dylan Cease getting it done, writing it down in ink. You will not make me look bad. On my worst night, I will make you look just as worse. So major shout out to Dylan Cease for being a fighter, being a competitor like he is. Good job through 4. Could have been a little bit better. 2 costly home runs, but overall, not too bad. Now, as much as I like to rip on that Chicago bullpen, Jose Ruiz and Ryan Burr did come in, stop the bleeding. I think Burr only gave up 1 run, or Ruiz gave up 1 run to make it 7-7. And no, it was Burr who gave up that run to make it 7-7 or 7-4. Moncada came in, got that 3-run homer, tied up the game, but then Joe Kelly comes and the bleeding just starts again. It's like, just fresh stitches on this guy and he wants to go play football. So, I don't know. It just didn't end up good. Even Tanner Banks goes into the game, gives up 3 more runs, ends it on a low note. The whole game was terrible. The Sox didn't score another run to end the game. So, really just poor performance. Now, I like that the Sox were able to consistently string along runs. They didn't rely on just the long ball to get runs. It's something Chicago relied a lot on last year in terms of run production. It's good to see them get it without it, but at the same time, you can't give up 15 runs. Would have been nice if they would have gotten 1 or 2 extra runs in the 8th and 9th inning. That would have solidified it for me for Chicago. Hitting 7 runs, bunch of hits. You can't be disappointed about that. Not trying to rag these guys. They showed up. They did their part. 7 runs, 9 out of 10 times is enough to win you a baseball game. When you have pitching like this, unfortunately, it's kind of difficult to have that happen. But overall, nothing too terrible, nothing too ridiculous. Bullpen, Joe Kelly, probably the worst part of the game. Dylan Cease, 6 earned runs, a little high for him, but still dealing like a madman. The one thing I will say for the Chicago pitchers is, something all of you out there who have played baseball, through middle school, if you got to high school, maybe played freshman year, whatever, you know this as well as anyone out there should know this. Against power hitters, against guys that could really crush the ball, you're not really looking to leave anything middle to upper part of the plate, right? You want them to have to get their 9-iron and fork that ball out of the ground in order to get a hit. You don't want them to get a pitch that they can make solid contact on. And unfortunately for the Chicago White Sox, that's something that they did constantly. They left balls up, especially Dylan Cease. I don't know what he was thinking, but honestly, buddy, a few of those pitches, 6 inches lower, completely different ball game in my opinion, but you left some pitches a little too high, you got rocked. Same thing with Joe Kelly. You left 1 or 2 pitches up there, got rocked. But that's just what's going to happen if you don't have good control over the pitch. Or if you're trying to be like this new age, pitcher, I guess, trying to rock everyone, trying to, beat them with the heat. And if you're throwing against the Chicago White Sox bullpen, I understand how you might think that, because the freaking Sox in that game were swinging at everything above here in this area. It was ridiculous. There were like 3 or 4 strikeouts just in the highlight reel of the game that showed Chicago going for that high cheese. And if you're going to go for that high cheese, I just say hightail it to Wisconsin if you're going to be doing that, because they got tons of cheese and it's up north from here. We don't need any of that down here in Chicago. So don't worry about it. Leave that for the Wisconsinites. Aaron Rodgers, that COVID toe, whatever you need to do with Wisconsin, go deal with it in Wisconsin. Leave the cheese in Wisconsin. But let's talk about those Chicago Cubs, because they did something they have not done since week 1 of the season. In fact, it was the very first series of the opening weekend. They won a series against the San Diego Padres. Now, I know San Diego Padres aren't a team to be, bragging about beating. They do have excellent pitching, but the run production is just not there. Hey, potential trade partner right there with the Chicago White Sox. But anyway, Cubs able to pull off the victory, 7-5, and honestly, it's not anything too flashy, nothing that was like, oh, hey, this was really bad, or oh, hey, this was really good. Contreras, 2 for 3 with a home run. That's about the highlight of it. I guess the worst thing that did happen is Horner did sprain his ankle. He's not going to be playing tonight. He might miss multiple games, but other than that, nothing too bad, nothing too serious. The Cubs looking a lot better. I'd like to see a little bit more of him, obviously, but I heard he was dealing with something a little bit. Maybe I just misread that when I was reading earlier, but I thought he was dealing with something, trying to make sure he's 100%, so I understand that. But at the same time, if he's ready to go, ship him into that game and pull off another W, get another series win here against the Diamondbacks. They start that series off tonight, 8:40 p.m., Drew Smyly versus Zach Davis, so you guys aren't going to want to miss that. I know this was very lopsided, a lot about the Chicago White Sox, not a lot about the Chicago Cubs, but honestly, when you're a team like the Cubs, who are able to play good baseball, who don't have issues of committing errors, don't have terrible pitching with the current games going on, then there's not a lot to talk about. If you're getting hits, if you're fielding cleanly, if you're pitching fine, there's nothing to really talk about, especially when you're a back and forth win-loss team, these guys are really good at crossing the T's, dotting the I's, but they're not spectacular players. The Chicago White Sox, on the other hand, are supposed to be a championship level team trying to hunt for that trophy this year, and unfortunately it seems like the Sox have just a bunch of wasted talent, going to waste a year basically right here if it keeps going on like this. Seems like the Sox are going to dip below 500 again, so we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully they could pull off at least one win here in the Big Apple would be nice, but hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoy the TC Talk series, please let me know by giving a like. If you guys want to hear more sports content, please feel free to tell me what you would want to hear down in the comment section below. We're all for feedback. And until next time, go follow our Instagram, _winnercircle_22. This has been TC with TC Talks. See you next time.